Hey Dad Squad, and welcome to this week's episode of Run With My Son, a show where we are dads who are determined to not let the headwinds of life push us off that path to a lifelong heart-to-heart relationship with our sons. And we do that through something we call runversations, which are deliberate conversations we have with our sons while we're out and about, getting fit, having a run together. So I'm coming at you today, if you hadn't noticed, from my car. It's been one of those hectic kind of days, but with a great topic nonetheless, and that this week is building good habits with your kids. Something that we're all trying to do, right, Dad Squad? And perhaps building a habit of running is one of the ones that you're working on right now. Whatever that habit is, or even if those habits aren't yet formulated in your mind, here are some practical tips that you can put in place that'll help you to build those habits and move them from just being ambitions, just being good intentions, to being something that is just a part of the fabric of your relationship and of your lives. So I'm going to jump right into it with tip number one, and that is to expect effort, though not perfection. This is especially true with children. We don't want to discourage and knock them off the path of progress because we're expecting too much, because what they do comes short of perfection. If it is effort, if nonetheless they are trying their hardest, we want to recognize that. And we really want to cool it, Tiger Dads. You know, everybody knows what a Tiger Mom is. Well, there are Tiger Dads too. We probably give them a different name, but if you're looking for perfection every time, you're only going to discourage your son when he doesn't reach that. So find the successes, praise the successes, acknowledge the effort. I really love watching you play soccer. That's a simple thing to say, regardless of whether he won, lost, scored the goals, was the MVP. You can say that in any situation, and it will build a healthy habit and a heart that wants to continue doing that because he knows that it pleases Dad. So that's number one. Expect effort and not perfection. Number two, we want to teach optimism. We want our sons, our children, to look at the bright side of life because it is proven, it is shown in studies that those who do have an optimistic outlook are more successful in school, in work, in athletics. It just goes across the board that an optimistic outlook will make you a happier person. And that's our ultimate goal. You know, we're not trying to necessarily win all the gold medals. What we want is happy children. We want a strong relationship with our children. And that's going to come from having an optimistic attitude and teaching that to our children, primarily through example and having such an attitude yourself, dads. Here's number three. We want to work one goal at a time. You probably have a whole slate of things that you love for your son to do. You want him to be, more self-disciplined in keeping his room clean. You want him to be honest in how he speaks to people. You want him to be physically active and out there, and you want him to be doing great in school. I don't even know what other things might be added to the list beyond that, but no doubt you've got a bunch. Choose one at a time and really focus in on one, and you can cumulatively add to that in time as you hit these milestones and get the progress you want. So work on one goal at a time, dads. This is especially true for our younger children, and I guess it's true for all of us, all ages, but one goal at a time, dads. Number four, I hinted at already, but you want to be a role model. You want to lead through example. Our sons won't do anything that they don't see us not doing. If they can see hypocrisy in your words, you can pretty much guarantee that he's not going to follow along. I don't even think I need to say anything more there. I think you understand me pretty instinctively on that. After all of us were once sons, and we had dads, or perhaps our dads weren't in our lives both. We saw even the slightest hint of it, I'm sure. That was the last piece of advice we wanted to hear from someone who was doing the opposite. All right, and number five, this is a great one. We want to make our healthy, good habits public. We want to tie in some positive peer pressure. Now, we talked 2 weeks ago in episode 10 about peer pressure, and that was primarily talking about the negative variety. But there's a positive variety of peer pressure also. When our peers know that we're trying to do something and trying to make an achievement, it makes it all the more real. You know, once we've publicly stated that I'm trying to run in a 5K race with my son in the fall. When your friends and colleagues and peers know that that's a goal in your mind, they're gonna do some accountability checks with you. They're gonna bring it up in conversation once it's out there. A goal that's kept secret is one that's easy to abandon and drop, because the only person you're letting down is yourself. So I recommend making these goals public. And a tool that I've mentioned in the past that you can use is a contract. If you and your son have a written contract that you are going to work hard every week at going out there and having a run, or having 2 or 3 runs, and you put it in writing and post it up on the wall, regardless if anyone else in the family or the outside world ever see it, hear about it, you and your son will know about it. It's there in black and white, and it's going to encourage him. And you can go to runwithmyson.com/contract right now. I don't know how well this is showing. There we go. Now you can see it a little better. For a free contract you can print out. Now this one is for the goal of reducing screen time, online time. It's the downtime from online contract that we're going to work on in our household. But that's just a start. You can go there and download that free contract to print out yourself at runwithmyson.com/contract. And I encourage this, any goal you set, draw up your own contract. It need not be so formal and fancy as that one. But put it in writing and hang it up, dads. All right, well, I hope those 5 tips are going to be helpful for you building healthy and good habits with your son. Let me remind you that next week's episode and every week's episode can be found right here where you're watching this video, or if you want to watch it live, we're on facebook.com/groups/runwithmyson every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And we look forward to seeing you there next week, where our topic is going to be the corollary to this week's topic. It's going to be breaking bad habits with your kids. So this one might be a great one to tune into too. And if you know another dad out there who could benefit from this, by all means, tag him, put his name in the comments, share it, let him know about our program and how he can come and watch. And we'd love to have you in our group to jump in on those discussions so we can share our victories and struggles together. All right, dads, we'll hope you have a great week, and we'll look forward to next week, where we're gonna break some of those bad habits with our kids. All right, have a great one.